Welcome to the Build Guild Podcast. We're podcasts of makers who make things and the doers of the other things that get made.
Hooray!
Yeah.
We don't do anything.
Yeah, we do.
Essentially.
Well, yeah.
Just not the same thing twice. Ever.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing a second episode.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay, so I'm
we're
already
literally
wrong.
doing the second
Build
thing
Guild,
twice.
episode 2.
Okay.
So we are shooting. We're not shooting. We're recording the second episode right after the first one.
Yep.
Because Coty is in a special situation.
Mm-hmm.
Where we mentioned in the beginning, he won a TV contest. We think that is pretty cool and something worth
Yeah.
dive into, like almost a full episode talking about the ins and outs of what's going on, where you were before this, where you're at now, and then I guess future projections.
Okay.
And we kind of catch up with you every once in a while.
Yeah.
With where you're at, because this is how many months does this thing go?
So, they actually the end of June, they'll like start wrapping this thing
And
up.
we're in April.
So
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
That is
so
not.
It's not a lot of time.
You're not gonna be transformed in like
Dude,
3 months.
I mean,
Or if you are, that's amazing.
I mean, are they bringing in a small army to
basically.
Okay.
So everything so right now it's still. By the way, organic woodwork still in my garage.
Okay.
Which is where we started. And I'm still there working and making stuff out of the garage.
And hey, by the way, what is this show? Have we even said yet?
Yeah.
We have.
Small Business Revolution on
Okay,
Hulu.
great.
Oh yeah. Well, we mentioned it in the last episode, but we didn't mention
Little
it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what I
Small
meant.
Business Revolution on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the TV show.
Hosted by Amanda Brinkman, who I never heard of before,
Yeah. And Ty Pennington.
and Ty Pennington, who
Trading Spaces and Extreme.
I
Home
definitely
Makeover.
remember as a 36-year-old,
Yeah.
Well,
He
they're
was
both a big deal,
huge.
Ben.
apparently.
Yeah. A
Yes.
big deal.
Big deal.
So,
Big
Pretty
deal.
awesome.
Cool people. Great. The show is just to help transform businesses, right? In small town America.
And you're a small business because you are an employer of 0 employees.
Yeah. So about as small as you can get.
Yeah.
In my garage, like no overhead as far as building and stuff.
Right.
So,
nice.
but that's changing. So.
It's changing. So
Yeah.
tell us about where you started, because
Okay.
you were not woodworking for your profession. So let's go back to
Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
your childhood when you're like, all right, I'm done with school.
All right. So like.
Yeah, well, let's
All
go
right.
way back.
Let's go way back. All right. So right after high school,
You're in what part of the country?
here.
You're here.
Arkansas.
You're in Arkansas.
Yeah. In
Okay.
Arkansas. I joined the Army. And.
You didn't have trade school. Did you have trade school?
No.
You didn't go to college.
I mean, it was
you were
right after.
You're
yeah.
like the day after you're in the recruiter and saying I'm joining the Army.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, so that is where I was at. Like, I transitioned out of the Army after about 10 years and went from there to then do a trade. So I went to trade school in Texas for HVAC
After Army.
after Army.
What were you in Army? You didn't do any trade stuff
Infantry.
in Army?
Yeah. Well, infantry, but those skills don't really transfer, like,
No.
correlate to the outside world.
Right. But some
They
people
do,
get, some
but only if things get really,
Things get
really
bad.
bad.
Zombie
So,
apocalypse.
yeah.
right.
Then those kind of trades.
Professional
yeah.
mercenary.
Yeah, that's basically
Yes.
it. Like, now
Okay.
you're a merc, right? So, so I went for HVAC, did that for a few years, worked for a large business here in Arkansas, which I'm not going to mention because they don't pay me to mention them.
Mm-hmm.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, yes. Right after that, I just felt the calling on God that, like, I need to go back to school. This time it was for ministry. So I did that. I went to school for ministry in Conway through New Life Church. They had a pastoral care program that I went to for biblical studies. And so that's from there. During that time, I was working for a friend of mine who was a general contractor. And I was also doing the woodworking, which I'd already been doing.
Just for fun, not selling anything.
Not, well,
Well,
so
it's like family
yeah.
and friends are like, hey, make me a bowl.
Yeah, stuff
That
like
kind
that.
of selling thing. It's not really like a business. You're just
Nah,
like, yeah, I'm making
not
it.
really.
I can make you one, sure.
Not really
Make
business.
me a
Just
farmhouse
$10.
table.
Yeah, so, like, and the table thing was, me and my wife, we were fostering. And, or we
So
were
you're
about-
married with how many of your own kids?
So, so I'm married, have two kids, 2 daughters, 5 and 13.
Okay.
And we were like, we're going to foster. And so we did all that. We were about to open it for fostering. This is probably about 2.5 years ago. And I was looking, and I was like, we need a larger table. You know, we had a table that set like 4, and like when I was thinking like, these kids are hurting and they're going to be coming to our home. Like all the times I remember as a kid where like my parents instilled any type of like wisdom or like parental advice was really around a dinner table. And so we needed a bigger table.
Right.
And so I was like, well, they look simple enough. I'll build one. So I built one. That was a 6-foot farm table, 2 benches. A really shoddy job.
I think it's everybody's first.
Did you know about
something,
wood
right?
movement, that first one?
My answer is no.
Yeah, I was going to say.
My
I helped you
table
with
has
one
so
where
many
we
screws
did
in
not
it.
know about wood
No
movement.
clue. No idea.
So, actually, I got pretty lucky. I mean, again, not really. I had some idea of a wood movement, but I didn't. But at the same time, I never made a breadboard, and I wasn't going to start now. So I was like, well, if it moves, it's pine, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I can.
You can sand it out. Just sand it right
buff
down.
out. It'll buff out. Yeah. And so, but I got lucky. Like, I mean, just completely dried. Not a whole lot of movement. Moved it in.
And we're in Arkansas
built
with
it.
like 100% humidity.
Yeah, all the time.
Every single day.
Except for in the winter when it's down to 0, and that's when your table does a Dorito.
Right. Yes.
You know, it's like a chip.
Dorito.
You know, it's like.
Uh-huh.
So, but anyways, I mean, obviously, I've gotten a lot better since then, because what I did was, I was like, well, that seemed easy enough. How about I make some more? I can sell them on Facebook. And for like every 3 that I was selling, I was taking cash from that, recouping that to make another one for free and donate it to a foster family that needed a bigger table.
Right.
So in that, it was like, I didn't make any money because I was selling them.
No, well, you're not making money now, clearly.
No.
As a business, you weren't making money then either. So your whole life has been charity for others, pretty much.
Basically.
Right.
Yes, basically. And so, but anyways, so, like, I gotten better. The craft had gotten better. I'm doing other things than just tables, you know. Basically just to help me, like, learn more. You know, the more you do, the more you learn it.
That's the only way.
You know? Yeah.
You could be book smart, but never touching a piece of wood.
Absolutely.
It ain't the same. It doesn't translate.
Yeah. And so, through that, you know, and then I won this thing with Small Business Revolution. And they are kind of like revamping, not really revamping me or my mission statement in my business, but revamping, you know, like helping with marketing and just a lot of the business stuff that I knew nothing about when it started.
Let's talk about your name, I guess, to start with. You chose Organic Woodwork.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
I thought it was
Just
punny.
like, okay, cool.
I thought it was punny.
Yeah.
It's a punny.
Is it not
No,
punny?
it's fantastic for Arkansas. It's great.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
And it's, you know, multifaceted. Like,
Absolutely.
you have, you know, wood is an organic material, right?
Right.
We're in Arkansas, AR, organic.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's
Arkansas, not Arizona.
Right. Yeah,
Arizona is
yeah.
AZ, not AR.
That does happen a lot.
That, if you ever hear, like, the southern old-timers from Arkansas, like, oh, that's organic milk. You know, it's like, it's organic, you know.
Yeah.
And so, and we're the natural state. Like, organic material.
It
the
all
natural
fits
state.
in. I think it's fantastic.
It's very multifaceted. And so it was just, and it was punny. That was probably the biggest one for me.
And the logo?
And the logo.
Where did that come from?
So the logo I drew on an index card because I knew what I wanted.
You knew it was going to be a business card. Yes.
Well,
the same ratio there.
Well, not really.
Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I mean, it was an index card.
Yeah.
It was just something I had that I could just draw on. So, anyways, I was just drawing on it because, so I go to New Life Church, and like our thing, like they have the Arkansas outline, but it's very simplistic Arkansas outline.
Okay.
And I was like, I really like that. And I think from marketing standpoint, it like really pops.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like,
Totally stole it.
Yeah.
Good man.
So I was
All
like,
the great artists do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, there's only so many outlines of the state that you can
for
put.
real.
It's art. I mean, it's, you know,
Right.
whatever. Anyways, and so like I drew it out and just put like the AR in the state and then organic, right? And then I gave it to a friend who was able to like digitize it and make it cooler than what I drew on an index card.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's Brian's forte.
I can do
Digitizing.
that. Yeah, I can digitize things.
But and so Ryan, you know a lot about logos.
A little bit.
How personal is the logo to a person?
How personal is it to what? The person using it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends on what they want. I mean, honestly, he could have gone the way that a lot of people go with just these, logo generators online, where basically they just algorithm the thing to death, and it may look good. It may also look like everything else that's out there, and but if it's important enough, like he did, he went to an actual living person, told them the idea he had, and they did something with it. So
that's your brand, and are they coming in and rebranding you?
Well, they like the logo,
nice.
So they like it,
which should make you feel good. Because, like, in my opinion, I made my brand. If someone came in and said, "No, let's change this," it's horrible.
Well,
like you're changing my face.
Well, at the same time, you also got to think, they're like, we're gonna change your brand. I'm like, well, you guys are the professionals on. If you think changing it's going to make me more money, then change it.
Good. I think that's the way to have it. It's
like,
just
that's how I
it
look
would
at
be
it.
hard for me to get over.
Yeah.
Like, I've already invested stickers, logo, website.
Yeah.
I am
You're
this
indeed.
person.
Like,
I cannot change it.
That's me too. Like all my swag, my shirts. Like, but if that's what it took, then.
So maybe all that becomes vintage and highly sought after once you're a movie star.
Marketing angle. Well, I mean, it's going to happen sooner.
Yeah. Right? I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. So that's, I mean, but the logo is very personal. And if you ever watch the show on Hulu,
which I haven't and I really need to,
you do, because if you watch the show on Hulu, there's actually some episodes where where they're like, their logo is like very busy. I guess like there's just a lot there, and it's like hard to really figure out what it is they even do by looking at the logo.
That's a bad logo.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, but these people love it. Like it's personal to them.
And they designed it probably.
And they designed it, and then they're trying to change it to make them better, and it's like, you see the people like really wanting to hang on to that, whereas I'm completely different.
Like,
make me the
Thank
money.
You.
Show me the money.
Yeah, show me the money. That's
exactly.
It. Yeah,
that's the sort of thing that will drive graphic designers out of their minds. Yeah. Somebody wants.
It's customer service, which customers are not always right.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Wrong. The customer is usually not right when they want the logo that they want, because simpler is better, cleaner is better, and the thing should probably give the viewers a clue as to what you're about. So good for you.
For a logo, at least locally, if you're driving down the street or you see a sign, the busy signs and stuff,
no,
you have no clue. No. The simpler, the easier it is, and. That's how. Look at my logo, super simple. So I want to throw in a little something here.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked, what is in the middle of my M&W, and it's a piece of wood.
Mm-hmm.
Brian designed that.
Yeah, I did.
What?
Did you not? You didn't realize? That's a piece of wood.
Now I know.
At an angle.
It's a wood plank.
Now you know.
It's got a little knot in it.
Apparently I didn't do a good enough job.
Well, you did a good job.
No, you did a good job. It's just like
the hierarchy is that the M
it's
a W.
Right.
So there it's a dot. On your banner, you can see it's
there's a little swirl knot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if there's a little bit of color and black. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So go on. Yeah.
So
they're not rebranding you.
Not that I know of. I think they said they were going to tweak it a little bit.
Right.
Again,
okay.
Whatever. Do what you got to do.
There you go.
So, and as far as the rest of it, I mean, we're just, growth. I gotta, now that I have this recognition locally, I've already gotten a lot more jobs from it.
Good.
And nothing has even happened, right? It's just...
They've never even seen your work. Most of these people, honestly, probably didn't even know who you were.
Had no clue who I was.
I'd say
I know for a fact.
99% of people are like, who won? We don't even know what that is.
Yes.
Because you're out of a garage and don't have a storefront.
Exactly. And all my stuff is at word of mouth or through Instagram or whatever.
Right.
There were some articles that were written from a local newspaper about me because they found out I was doing when I was giving the tables away to foster families. They found that out and they wrote articles about me then. But again, it's paper. It's printed media. It's a dying breed.
That's true.
So it's like
I saw it.
I saw it because you shared it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah, exactly. And then I did get one job off of that though. The lady was like, "We never read the paper, ever," and their son is he's a quadriplegic, and they were needing a table that his
wheelchair would fit under.
Wheelchair would fit under.
Yeah.
And she's like, I never read the paper, and some reason I read this, and then I felt like I could call you and you could do this. I was like, I could absolutely do that.
Yeah.
And I did. And it was awesome.
Stuff is destined, I think.
Dude, yeah.
That proves that customers and you will find each other.
Yeah.
There's not just blanket everything out at whatever cheap price to hopefully make some money on the side. It's like a customer is out there, and they'll find you somehow.
Yeah.
So, hey, speaking of that article, I think this is what I read. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've built into your production and your business so far the donation of a table every so often to a foster family, right? Is it every fourth table or every fifth table?
Well, it was every third, and that's what I was doing before I went full time.
Okay.
So now that I've gone full time, like the goalpost kind of moved. Like it was at like I was filling a need by giving a table away, but I wasn't doing anything to solve a problem. And so like one of the problems I saw was there's 23,000 kids that age out of the foster care system every year, right?
What, like nationwide?
Nationwide.
Okay.
Out of that, 20%, so 4,600 kids immediately become homeless. Out of what is left, less than 50% find gainful employment by the time they're 24. Less than 3% even try to go to college, let alone those who, like, it's a decimal percentage of the ones that complete. And so it's like, well, what do you do with this? And then they have their own hurts and pains that never get treated.
For sure.
So then they have kids, and because they never had a family to look after, now their kids are going to end up.
It's cyclical.
It is.
Absolutely.
It's very circular. And,
right.
And so now that their kids are in the system, and so like, where do you stop at? Like, where do you try to solve that problem? Well, how about these kids that are aging out of the foster care system? Let's just like take them in. Try to teach them a trade, bring them around people who have some moral integrity and know the fact that because you were in the foster care system, we're going to look after you through a different lens than what they would normally look at any other employer.
You're not just an employer.
Yeah.
If you were to hire these kids, that's the plan, right?
Yeah, that's the plan. You got to be a leader. Like, there's a difference between a boss and a leader. Like, if you can lead, like. You see, like, okay, for some reason, things have slowed down in his area. He's, he or she is, just not very talkative. Like, there's something going on. So how do you, where do you go from there? Well, you got to, like, be a leader and try to find out what it is that their need is in that point. And, just these kids, they really just need someone to really care about them, And if you can just teach them soft skills, not even like necessarily a skill, just soft skills. Yeah. Like that's the biggest thing that employers are looking for right now.
I've read that.
Like the generation is coming up. Like the number one need in any industry is soft skills. Just that interworking relationships with their coworkers,
interpersonal communication.
Without a phone.
Exactly. Without a screen, yes.
And we're all on social media.
Yeah, you're
plugged in. Soon we'll be wearing the things over our heads.
Yeah, what's the movie WALL-E, where you just sit on the chair on a spaceship? Like we're literally like 10 years away.
Move in that direction.
Yeah,
won't be on a spaceship, but
maybe
comfort of our own.
Elon Musk's.
Yeah, but
there's Musk. I forgot. Okay.
Yeah, if he doesn't go to jail from the FCC for tweeting
that's
or
true.
Whatever. What?
Yeah,
he keeps
he's manipulating the stock
stuff
in a
that
negative
he shouldn't
way.
be saying on Twitter. Basically, he's one of the people that just needs his phone taken away from him.
Yeah,
along with other people that we could name but won't. So.
No. But I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So So what do you do to solve the problem? Well, that's where the goalpost shifted. So now it's finding a space, which we have.
You for sure got a space.
We for sure are in the works of it. Lawyers are looking at the lease agreements, and I should hopefully be signing soon. So
nice.
Okay.
And it's in a very good space.
It's the place we talked about.
This is the place we talked about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool spot.
It's a really cool spot.
It's really big. What size?
Super busy too. I think the one of the buildings is 4,500 square feet. And then another building, which is just storage, is like 2,000 square feet.
That's insane.
Gosh. Yeah, so it's a lot of production.
Yes.
Like, is there room for like a storefront too, if you wanted to?
So much room for activities. No,
floor hockey.
There is, but the problem is I just don't want to go into having a storefront right
Okay,
off.
so it won't be a storefront.
Well,
You're going to be more focused on building a central locus for community.
So we say storefront, you're wanting to build stuff to display and people walk in and be like, oh, I want this table.
yeah, but I'm not wanting that.
What if you had a
There's
storefront?
an overhead that you have to, and it's not worth it. Especially, so one of the things that Deluxe can do with their marketing strategy is make you an amazing website. Like, I don't know if you ever went on
No.
their, like, dude, their websites are phenomenal.
It's better than my handmade one? Through
Through
Weebly?
Possibly.
Oh, you're trying to, yeah.
Probably.
I see what you're doing there. So, it's, anyway, so, like, I just want to concentrate on online sales, shipping sales. I don't want to have the overhead of a storefront.
So you want to ship. Shipping tables.
Yeah.
My mind can't get over shipping large
Freight.
stuff.
Why?
I've never done it. Fear of the
I
unknown.
guess that's why.
FOMO,
I mean,
I've
right?
never done that.
Well,
I don't know.
here's the thing. You just got to take into account before it is. And what are you... Like, you also got to make sure that it's something that they can only get shipped.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? So you got to make it...
Are
Awesome.
you pigeonholed to Arkansas since you're organic woodworks? If you're going to ship, you're going to ship
I mean, I'll ship to whoever
US.
wants to buy.
Right, but now you've only branded to... Have you
No.
only branded to Arkansas?
No,
or are you
it's
just,
just
I'm
part
in
of the
Arkansas?
identity.
It's
Okay,
just part of
I
the
guess.
identity.
Sure.
And I mean, you got to think. There's something cool about Arkansas. I mean,
Yeah, we got trees here.
There's not
yeah. Well,
Yes.
it's...
much
We're
here.
the natural state.
for
the
sure.
fact that
Not
you...
the part we're in, but other parts, yes.
Oh, there's
Like-
nature.
Well, there's nature. Yeah.
We're in a very flat part.
That's true.
That's true. Well, we just went... Me and my wife, we went to Heber yesterday.
Oh, you went a little
To
drive.
Bridal Bells. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, okay.
15 minutes? Somewhere there.
To Heber?
To Bridal Bells?
It's like an hour from here.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
it's
an
like
hour
half
drive.
an hour at
What?
least, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyways.
No way.
Okay.
Okay.
So you went up to the lake where there's cliffs and
No,
such.
I didn't go to the lake. We just went to Bridal Veil Falls. So that's...
Bridal Veil Falls.
It's pretty close.
I've never
Okay.
been there.
Anyway, it's a
idea.
cool little hiking trail.
My daddy
Yeah.
grew up in
Thanks.
Heber Springs.
It's, anyways, cool space. So, like, there's a lot of cool things about Arkansas.
Yeah.
The fact that there's... I mean, you got to think, though. Like, you go... People are buying stuff from Magnolia Market. And
That is true. Where is that? I don't know. I
In
can't point to it
Waco.
on a map.
And, you know, and now people are like, you know, you would think, well, they only sell to Waco,
That's
Texas.
probably
And that's
true.
Not true.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So you're gonna. So where are you at in the process now? You're filming some stuff. What's it like to be filmed? on
Awkward.
camera?
Really awkward.
Like,
Do they
how many
literally
people
follow
are
you
in-
around?
Dude, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my face.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Like
that's-
somebody's literally watching you do your work, which is the worst.
not,
But
well,
now
not
you have
really.
like multiple cameras watching you do your work.
Yeah. Well, so we had... So the crew is... It's pretty like a skeleton crew that was there today. We were kind of just doing B-roll, which is just getting some very... They're natural shots of like an everyday, but it's to where it's not felt stagey.
Yeah.
So you have like one camera guy, a camera assistant, and one of the producers are there, the executive producer. And so we're just kind of just shooting. They're just kind of there.
So you didn't plan
I just
anything.
kinda-
You just was like, here's what I'm gonna do today.
I just kind
You
of
did it.
I just do my thing. I do take some direction, you know, as far as that what they need, you know, where if for lighting or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah. But
And we had planned today like to go visit the space.
yeah.
Do a walkthrough like with the camera crew, kind of looking around the space. And
Did
then,
you do that?
Yeah. And,
Okay. So you
and
want to.
then you know, just some interactions with family and stuff. So
Right.
you know, it's Saturday, so like my in-laws came over and like we just kind of
Okay.
grill and chill. You know,
And you didn't invite us to be on camera, which we're.
No.
You are wearing my
I
T-shirt
wore
today.
your
though.
shirt.
Can
all
we talk
day
about
long.
the
Nice.
time when somebody mistaken you for me?
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
it was at Saber and Sip.
Was it? Yeah.
How's that
So-
possible?
This is
And-
hilarious.
you don't have
But
the
I didn't even
beard.
know you at this point. I had no clue who you were.
So did they mistake you for me, and then someone mistake
No.
me for you?
You told me someone thought.
Okay, so
You
yeah,
were
so
me.
I didn't know if anybody had ever done that.
No,
with you.
they're not done it with
Because he
me.
doesn't have my shirt.
I don't have your
That's
shirt.
why.
You
So
don't have any shirts.
yeah. So but no, so it was so funny. So
You've not heard the story, Brian.
I guess not.
This is hilarious.
Okay.
So Saber and Sip, and
which is like a little local place downtown that makes crepes.
Which also won.
Which also won.
So they're one of the top 6.
Crazy interweaving web.
And what's even crazier, what's even crazier is I built all of their tables for their coffee shop.
I've eaten there once, and I sat on one of those beautiful tables that you made.
Thank you for saying that.
Wonderful. Absolute
Are they
craftsmanship.
beautiful?
Yes.
Okay.
But anyway,
And you stamp your logo right on top.
yeah.
So everyone who sits there
Burn
sees
that
your
sucker
brand.
in there.
So that was one of the things. I was like, look, I can make. Cause she wanted 13 tables, and they're not huge or whatever. You know? I was
like a 4-seater.
Yeah, I was like, I can make you 13. And I was like, and I'll even cut you a discount if you let me put my brand in the left corner of every one of those tables. And she agreed.
Nice.
So.
And now it really means a lot.
I put my brand in every one.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, that's organic marketing.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
for sure.
what, you know what I mean? It's like without social media, and people walked in, and that's how I got the articles that were written about me. People were like,
really?
I want to know who made this table.
It's
really cool. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that was the first one that wrote the article, was a lady who was like, sat there doing a story on Saber and Sep, sat at the table and was like, this is a really pretty table. I want to talk to this guy. Do you have this information? Amelia passed it on to me.
Wow.
Or passed it on to her. She contacted me. We did that article. And
Yeah.
then after that article was written, another article was written. So, anyways.
Note to self, get a brand.
Brand
all the everything
things.
I
Yes.
touch.
I gotta get a different brand. Mine is like the old Torch.
Yeah, I
and
have
it
the
just
same
takes
thing.
a while.
Torch it and stamp it down.
I hear that the electric one takes even longer,
Yeah, but you don't have to sit
but
there
you don't
with
have
the
to
torch.
watch it
Yeah.
and hold it, which
Yeah.
stinks. Yeah.
Yeah. So Gearhart Industries. If you
Yeah,
are
that's-
listening, I need
that's
to,
where I bought mine,
That's where I bought
too.
mine too.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
I could
where
probably
I didn't buy.
carve
I don't
one.
have one.
I have a block of aluminum. I could probably carve one now on the CNC.
You can nomad
Yeah,
that
but can you make
sucker.
it electric?
Maybe. We
I don't
try.
know. We can try. But anyways, getting back to when I was mistaken.
Yes, sorry.
for you,
Yeah,
I
yes.
didn't know Ben at the time.
No, I had no idea who you were.
I had a shirt because, I mean, I thought what you did was cool.
The
and
first run of shirts, I think, I ever did.
Yeah, whatever it was. I just remember, like, dude's local. He's a woodworker, too. I want to support him. Like, I thought the Color Pencil Bowl was awesome. I didn't think you were killing, pick me kids or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so, like,
Stealing
everybody
children's
else did.
color pencils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so, like, when you posted it, I was like, I want to buy a shirt to support that guy. And so I did, and I wore it to a Beats and Eats thing. And one night, and she
Which
was
is like a gathering downtown. Our city does
in Searcy,
in downtown,
and
like once a month.
Yeah,
everybody hangs out, food trucks and stuff.
Yeah, and Amelia, who owns Saber and Sip.
Oh, it was her.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she goes, "Oh my gosh, I love all of your stuff on Instagram. Like, I love your woodworking." I was like, "Oh, thank you." Because at this point, I'm thinking, yeah, I do woodworking and I have an Instagram. Not realizing that I'm wearing your shirt. She goes, "Yeah, your color pencil balls are good." And I was like, "Whoa, no, wrong one. Sorry.
No.
You're thinking of Ben Myers."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well, I just saw the shirt." I was like, "No, yes, I could see where you would draw that conclusion, but no."
That's hilarious.
And so, anyways, yeah.
I had no idea.
It's so funny. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I love that story. One of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a good story.
And now it all connects in every way.
It's interwoven. Well, I mean, we're in a town of like 20,000 people.
True.
So, I mean.
The moral of that story is everyone make a t-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we met each other.
Yeah.
You followed me, and then I don't remember how I met you after that.
I think Alan.
Oh yeah, my coworker at my job, which I'm an exterminator. I didn't mention that in the intros.
Yeah, a friend of mine.
Terminator.
Yeah.
And he's a friend of mine from church. We were in we did like a life group Bible study together.
Right.
And then he's also works for a pest control company that you do.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, "Yeah, I know Ben." I was like, "Dude, I love that guy's stuff. Like, he does awesome stuff." So that's how we met.
That is how we met.
Him.
Yeah. And Brian and I know each other because we married sisters.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's it.
That's the only way we know.
I don't even remember what possessed me to come start hanging out in this shop with you and learning all this stuff. Because
I don't know. It's like we were always together.
I remember when it was half the size it is now, and you were turning things mostly on the lathe.
Most of the social stuff started with the color pencil bowl.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Things.
Maybe because you're the one that got me started on Instagram, so that must have been
And that's really where I
of it.
started on Instagram. Like,
Okay.
I actually posted businessy stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yep.
So-
I can blame all that on you.
Intros in the second and not in the first episode. Label intros.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's how we do things.
That's it. Welcome to the build.
Yeah, there you go.
Build guild.
So what point of the process were we talking about? I don't remember.
So where we're at now is like finding, like we're in the space process.
Yeah, you checked out the space with the crew.
Yeah. So.
Have you met Ty Pennington? That's what everybody have.
Yeah. Met him when he was at the house.
He came to your house.
Yeah.
How did you figure it out? Let's talk about that.
Okay, so let's go back to how I found out that I won, right?
Which is funny because my wife knew you won before I knew and you knew.
My wife knew.
Your
before
wife
I
knew. Everyone knew
All
except for
wives.
you.
Everyone knew but me. And so like that day, there was an event that was going to happen downtown, and that was going to kick off at like 6:30. It's 5:30, and they every business in the top 12, they were going to run B-roll, right?
That day. they were gonna
That day,
record all day.
everybody was doing B-roll, but you didn't know where Amanda Brinkman or Ty Pennington,
The two hosts
were going
of
to
the
be.
show.
Yes.
Right.
And they had already said if they show up and say, "Welcome to the Revolution," you had won. Well, the camera crew came. Nobody was with them.
And it's 5:30, and the thing starts at 6:30.
6:30.
So you're like,
So-
no way.
Yeah, well, I mean, and to be honest, I didn't think I was going to win anyways.
I knew it.
Because
the whole
I'm
time.
out of my garage.
But you had the story, man.
But I've watched the other seasons. No one else, like they had never picked anybody that was working out of their home. Like
Is
they'd
that
all
right?
they'd all been like real businesses.
You're a real business.
I'm a real business.
Licensed by
Broke
the
some
state
new
of
ground,
Arkansas.
though.
But like not a storefront,
Yeah.
not employees. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm a real business, but only through paper.
But that's an
Yeah.
epic transformation for TV.
Yeah.
Our beginning shot is in a garage, and the next time you're in a house, you're in a shop bigger than most people's houses.
Yeah, I mean
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty crazy, but I just didn't think. And, you know, it's 5:30.
Right.
I'm
It's
like,
5:30, they're not showing
it's
up.
not showing up. And then the camera guy was there to roll B-roll, and they were like, "Has anybody come by?" And I was like, "No." And so, but I was fine with it. I really was. Like the fact I made it to the top 12, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that's huge.
I mean, the fact I made it to the top 30 when they told me, I was like, "You guys are ridiculous!" Like in
But
the
you-
application, they said like in the application process, there was like, take a picture of your storefront. I took a picture of my garage. I went
Was
out,
the
like,
garage up or down? The
Huh?
door up or down?
It was down.
Just
It was
straight
just
garage door.
straight garage door, a house basically. I just took a
Absolutely.
picture of the house and sent it to them, with like where you draw and edit the photo, like
Yeah.
circle the garage. So, like they showed up and I was like, well, this is disappointing for them. You know,
Yeah.
maybe the picture didn't go through. I don't know. So, anyways, so I talked to the producers or two of the producers of the show and then I made it to the top 12 and I was like, all right, at this point it's just a cruel joke. You know, it's like, either A, they chose me to really make this, the top 11.
The top 12 are going to be televised. I don't know, on the TV show.
Yeah. So
no
the
matter
top,
what. So you at least got in the TV show somehow.
yeah. So even if they were shooting B-roll, it was fine.
Right.
And and then they showed up. Like they snuck up. I forget what the camera, they directed me to do something like for the camera purposes.
Right.
And then they snuck up behind me and were like, "Hey, you won!" And I was like, oh, I don't even know.
Jerks.
It was a blur.
Yeah, like it was really like shock and like even then I just wanted to be like, guys, like you're screwing up right now. I want to be like,
understand
you
what you're
understand
doing.
who you just picked. Like trust me, you want to turn around. You
Right.
want to turn. But anyway, so yeah, Amanda Brinkman and Ty Pennington were there, and me and Ty were hitting it off, and he's a super cool dude, super energetic, just yeah.
Crazy.
It's like
Crazy dude,
kind of
but
like Ben over there. He
but
doesn't
funny.
seem to have a low setting. He's just an on or off switch.
yeah.
Coffee free.
Yeah,
Coffee-
that's
coffee
what I
free.
mean. I
Drink
hate you.
zero
Yeah.
free caffeine. I just want to make a point to the listeners that while your story is very intriguing, Brian was Instagramming the entire time.
Yes, I will.
They can't
He
see
could
that.
care less. That's why.
Hey, I can multitask
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
occasion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like you
He
guys.
said on occasion.
Obviously.
But yeah, so and now we're at the process of finding a different building, that's going pretty smoothly. It's gonna just take another week or two, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
And here they come at you with what was the awesomest thing ever? Give me the wish list.
yeah,
What?
yeah, that was the craziest thing. So
Explain to Brian, who has now put the phone down.
Yeah, it's down.
okay, so
Because he wants to know about the wish list.
Tell me about the wish list.
so a thing that we understood like it was a contest and they help revamp businesses.
Right.
But what they do is they invest up to like $25,000 into the business of
Jeez.
like actual attainable things. There's $50,000 that's invested of their services.
Sure.
Like
Okay.
website, payroll, like marketing, those things, which are huge.
Yeah.
When you do like a dollar for dollar ratio for marketing, like that's a big deal.
And on their end, they're not actually spending $50,000.
But it's
so,
it's
I mean, it's worth the
$50,000 worth of
services.
services.
I mean, I get that,
you know
but
what I
it's
mean?
Time
it's
and
a cheaper
services rendered.
way to give
Yeah,
you
yeah. I mean, that's
$50,000.
like me giving away $50,000 worth of tables. Like,
Right. It's not $50,000,
$50,000, but there's a lot.
Right. I know what you mean.
And so there's that. But then they were like 25. Make a wish list of stuff you need for the space. So I sent a wish list of tools that I needed, like a commercial 5 horsepower saw stop. And
Yes.
and
Which I've never seen in real life.
yeah.
I don't think I have either.
We have
I
no
guess.
woodcraft store.
Yeah, no, we don't.
There's nothing like
Help
that
us out,
anywhere near
Woodcraft.
us.
I mean, do we even have one in
Is there
Arkansas?
one in Little Rock?
No,
No. There's nothing. Arkansas has nothing.
no, nothing.
Got
But,
trees.
but we have Missouri that we can go for grizzly or beavers
Missouri,
industries.
That's true. It's
And-
like 6 hours away.
Yeah.
That's as close as we get.
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
so to you that have close by stores with all this stuff,
Cherish them.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was probably the biggest item on my list.
Saw
honestly.
stop?
Yeah, that 5 horsepower commercial saw stop.
Well done.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
awesome.
Excellent.
Maybe you
start.
can get 2.
yeah. Oh
Somehow
yeah.
just
Oh, is that-
times it out by 2, right?
Yeah. Times 2.
If you trip
I
it
need
and the
two
blade
in the
gets
shop.
destroyed, you might as well just buy a new one.
One for
Yeah,
a dado
yeah.
permanently and one for...
There you go.
There
There it is,
There it
right
is.
there.
Who has that, oh man, big YouTubers blowing my mind.
Does somebody actually do that?
Yeah, I can't remember.
That'd be
Do
ridiculous.
they do?
They have them back to back. Oh man,
Like why?
because he has a dado stack in
Yeah.
one, and so he doesn't have to change
Have
the
you
blade.
ever seen how you change the blade on this?
Yeah, it's still. I would still, maybe not with the dado, but at some point, like I said before,
Yeah.
if it's not set up, I'm gonna choose the lazy man's way to get
That's
around
true,
it
you
with
have
something
said
that
that,
is set up. That's how I do
That's
it.
why you want another bandsaw.
I want a little bandsaw in the shop because I have the big blade on this bandsaw, and I don't want to reset it up when I want to do curves and stuff.
Gotcha.
I have no space for it in any spot, but I want
Yeah.
one. So, anyways,
So.
your dream tools.
Dream tools.
What's the other stuff on the list?
Drum sander, commercial drum sander.
Big, huge.
Just stupid
What size did you give them? Or are
I
they gonna
didn't.
buy whatever you wrote down, or
I didn't give them a size.
you just
no.
said drum sander, and they're gonna randomly?
The
pick-
biggest one you can
the
find.
biggest one, yeah. Well, no, I'm not the only one that's helping them with this. The expert from Minneapolis, who has a woodworking shop, has been in business for 23 years, is also going, this is what this guy needs.
Okay, so he came down.
And he was the one who was like, on this list, you need to put saw stop 5
Okay,
horsepower
okay.
saw stop.
So
Because
he-
he has one, and he's like, it's stupid not to have one.
Niche
Yeah.
consulting
For sure.
you.
Yeah,
But if you lose your-
basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lose your hands, you lose your business.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty
You know.
much. Yeah.
And you're not to mention if your employees do something stupid
That
and your
is
insurance
also
goes
true.
crazy, and so yeah. Bandsaw, which I think was just a Grizzly 17-inch.
Yeah. 17 is where I'd go. I got the
yeah.
14. Wish I had the 17.
Yeah.
But everything is always, I wish I had the bigger one. I maybe have the 17. You still wish you had the 20 or whatever size goes. I don't even know. It's
I
too
don't
big.
know. I just know I needed
A big one.
17 is good for resaw.
Sure.
For me anyway.
Yeah.
What else? Man, I don't know. There's
The
just-
Bosch.
the Bosch miter.
You didn't
I
miter saw.
put that on there.
Right.
Yeah. The Glide,
The Glide.
just so I could have everything up against a wall.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Which
That's
is
a cool
nice.
feature.
Yeah. And the reviews looked really good on it, and it just the reviews for that, and then the reviews for the Capex
Right.
from Festool
Yeah.
with than the price. Like, it really, I mean, I'm not paying for it, so it really wasn't even the price.
Yeah, but
it
you
was
can
just
budget
the
it out
reviews.
to where you get more tools, right?
Yeah, but it was just the reviews alone were kind
Yeah.
of like that for me.
Slanted
Okay.
toward the Bosch.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't
I've
know.
heard a little bit of mixed feelings about the Capex.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's weird.
But I don't really know. I've never seen one. I don't have one.
Yeah.
I have the DeWalt FlexVolt one, and it is awesome.
Yeah.
I've loved every minute of it. I love being able to wheel it outside because I have to because I don't have much room, and I can just plug in some batteries and it run all day long.
Yeah, another thing, dust collection.
Dust collection.
Oh,
That's huge.
That's huge.
Probably a good
Yeah.
idea.
And so
What's dust collection for you now?
dust collection for me now is a shop vac.
A shop vac with
Or-
no cycling or anything, just straight.
Or just
or nothing.
straight shop vac, and that's only because that's what happens when the sawdust hits the ground. I shop it.
Okay, that's what you do. Excellent.
But I do have the Festool, the CT36.
Oh yeah,
Auto
you got
clean,
the fancy
and I got
Festool Auto
but-
clean.
but
That's
it's
right. I remember I walked in on that.
Yeah, but
Beautiful. It's still not a shop
and,
collection.
and for a
major
miter,
tools.
like for a miter saw or whatever, you're still and a table saw even then, like you're still getting stuff everywhere. So
Well, maybe not in your saw stop. Maybe next level. I'm interested to see that. My bandsaw has no dust collection. It has a hole, but
Really?
it's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
My older Delta has a better dust collector port than that thing,
Yeah,
Wow.
it's true. It needs to be like under the table,
which I have not used
which
at all
mine
yet.
does not have.
Yeah.
It's a behind the thing, terrible. I don't know. That's super
I'm
dusty.
trying to think what else I put on there. I don't know.
So they're gonna buy you all these amazing wish list tools,
Well, I mean, hopefully they haven't yet,
Hopefully.
so we'll see.
Got to get it approved.
but you have to have them to put in your shop. Okay, well now we got this giant shop.
Make a
We can't
convincing
fit anything
argument.
in there. There's
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
to make anything.
So, yeah, and then there's nothing in the shop as well. So it's like you also have to build like assembly tables and just
all the storage,
all the storage,
all that
all that.
stuff. Yeah,
So
which is a major deal in itself.
They're gonna
Yeah.
do like lighting and stuff. To
the lighting I can do, and it's
are
pretty.
you gonna do it yourself?
Because I'm just gonna go with the 8-foot LEDs.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Oh yeah,
You've
I've
seen
seen
the
them
other
in your
ones.
shop. Those are really bright.
yeah,
From Amazon.
that's just
They're amazing.
Amazon. Yeah.
What maker are those? What do you use? Do you know?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It was. I thought it was like somewhat inexpensive on Amazon, and they're like 6K and stupid bright.
I like the higher
Yeah.
the number.
If you don't look up and you look down, it looks like you have a just skylight on a sunny day.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the best part about that is you see all your marks.
Yep.
You know.
So you already have a CNC.
Yeah, I already got the Chappell Cove that
You got the
you
Chappell Cove.
have helped me set up twice,
Yep.
and we'll probably be a third time.
That's fine. And he's got the laser attachment on it too.
I do.
He's the man. He's got it all.
But I'm like, man, I'm nowhere near the Myers Woodshop of knowing what to do with that thing.
And that
Not
takes,
many people do.
It takes time, man.
That's
And
what
you know
he's got.
that's-
And
He's
I ain't
got
making money
time.
when I'm learning how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
that's
problem.
true. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my business doesn't my life doesn't depend on this business at
Yeah.
all. So I have
So for me,
nothing
it's a
but
little
time.
different. Yeah.
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 But that's the good thing about being near each other. You got my help
Yeah.
anytime. So that's how it is.
And so, so that's where we're kind of at in the process. Nothing really new to report or do. I know, and then the cool part is in May, I get to go to Minneapolis and go to their Deluxe's,
Headquarters.
headquarters,
Yeah.
and also visit Willie at his shop.
That's
Nice.
cool. And is he in
kinda see-
Minneapolis
yeah.
too? They're like out of the same place. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He has an Instagram, but he has
Dude,
200 followers.
no, 485
485.
followers.
I'm
And
gonna go find him right now.
his content is incredible.
Insane.
Did you look at it?
I looked at it. Yeah.
So he did a Dutch key that he made out of brass,
yeah.
and but it's not like a Dutch key. He made it round to where it like hooks in like loops around wood on both sides of the check. It's seriously one of the like very never saw it before.
Yeah.
And
It was cool.
for a guy who only has 400, but that's again, it just shows you the hardship it is to be a production shop
Yes.
and do things for content.
Yeah.
You know,
And his production, like, does he have employees?
Yes.
How many employees does he have?
I don't quite know. I know it's at least somewhere like around 4.
4 employees.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
straight
more.
production. That's a lot.
Like,
and he's cranking out tables, just everything.
yeah, he said more commercial stuff you can do, the better.
Oh, really?
He does a lot of commercial stuff, though.
Interesting.
Which is,
Yeah.
you
Make
know,
that money.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah, so it's gonna be cool to go visit him in his shop, and cool character, super dry, but I think he's funny.
And with your expansion into this bigger shop, fuller time. I don't really know. Fuller time than just like a one man in his garage full time.
Yeah.
But you're getting employees.
Yeah.
At some point, are you like, I'm hiring somebody right away? I don't even know how much I can pay you. Like, how do you start that?
You
deal?
start that with prayer.
Prayer?
Yeah.
Please help me. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes,
Heavenly Father.
Every day.
I have no clue what I'm doing. Yeah. And so, yes, I would just say, honestly, just start with prayer. Like that, I mean, I'm not even trying to be funny. That is literally the only, because, I mean, this is such a big thing. Like, this is the scariest crap I've ever had to do.
Not only is it scary for you, but you're thinking, like, you're hiring somebody who's depending fully on you.
Yes.
And you're still like, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So, like, it's like, okay, it's, all right, I'm going to hire someone. Although, even at this point, I haven't really even been able to pay myself. You know?
Yeah.
So, like, but I'm going to pay you, and hopefully I'll be able to pay myself. Right.
Right.
But it's one of those things, like, and talking to Willie, who's been doing this for 23 years again, and he's like, look, it's one of those things, like, you cannot not afford to hire employees.
Okay.
You know, like, if you try to just do this all on your own, you're not going to be able to, like, hammer out the content at the speed that you want.
Yeah.
That's true.
And you're gonna have to hire somebody.
Would you rather be the guy who gets the jobs, does the content, does the sales, or would you be the maker of the stuff?
I want to be the maker of the stuff.
It seems like there's two different deals.
Get
like
somebody else to do all the other stuff. And that's the thing. Like, that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, kind of dividing, because you divide and conquer, right? So you divide all the things that I'm doing now. So and then you take away the things that you know you're not doing well,
right?
Or that you're doing, but because you're doing those, you're not doing these other things even better than you can do.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, making things, right? So I'm not constantly in communication with all the clients, trying to do, keep communication lines open, because that's the biggest thing. Like, it's one thing, like, for us, like, craftsmen or whatever, to get behind, and if we're like a week or two behind from what we had projected the time would have been, to just contact the client and be like, hey, this is what's going on. You're probably going to be a week or two behind.
Yeah.
They're most likely, if you called them 2 weeks in advance to let them know, they're going to be cool with it.
Yeah.
Because it's just communication, right? Whereas what really gets people is, like, for us, like, it happens in, like, you see general contractors doing it, electricians and things like that. Like, they don't show up to do something in your home.
They're dead to you.
They didn't do it. They didn't even let you know until that day.
That's you,
and you've revamped your entire life around them being there at that time.
Like the cable company, we'll be there between 8 and 6. Well, sir, I have a job. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
You used the bathroom? We were there at that moment. Sorry.
Yeah. So, and that's just, I don't know. It's just one of the things, dude. It's just, you got to just know what it is that you do well, and know what it is that you need to hand over to somebody else to do well.
That's, find the person who knows what they're doing and let them do it. Don't get in their way. It seems like a key of things.
Whether you think you know what you're doing or not, making this jump to full-time, I mean, you're making the jump to full-time, right?
Yeah.
And there's no way.
It's like jumping off a building.
Okay. So, and there's no way
full-time, and you still feel like you're jumping to full-time in this.
So,
you pushed all the chips in.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes.
Yeah,
that's what does. Everyone who has, just all the guys that we pay attention to and listen to and follow, they have reached that critical point where they know it's time, whether they actually feel confident enough or not to do it. You have to take that step, and if it takes, ordering out the different jobs. Like, who was it? Bourbon Moth was listening to that podcast. He was like, I do one thing. I just build the things. That's all I do. I hired a professional photographer to take Instagram pictures for the website too. Yeah. I'd have someone do the finishing. I don't even bother with that. I just do this one thing. Yeah. So, I'm if you're gonna go full time, you might as well do it now while you got $75,000 thrown at you and a small army to help you out.
Sure.
It's
Did
gonna
you feel
work.
this building up though, even without this small business revolution TV? Like,
yeah, well, so I kind of had it like dream mapped out. Like, I know, so my wife bought me this passion planner for the beginning of this year because we had made the decision in December, like, all right, we're gonna go full time starting next year. Okay. And so she bought like this passion planner thing.
And of course,
and it has like a map, like where you kind of like so one of my things is like going full time, and then off of that you spider out into like, well, what do you got to do to make that happen, all this other stuff.
And this takes a husband and wife team, like you're when people. This is what I asked you before when you kept saying, well, we're gonna do this, and I'm like, who's the we? Do you have an employee? And you said, my wife.
Yeah, she's not an employee. She's just very opinionated.
Well, she's the boss, man.
She is
Fortunately for you.
She is the boss and she is the breadwinner of our home. Yeah. Like, so my wife's in the medical field. Yeah. So, and so like her support is 100% the only reason that this has ever happened. Like if it was not for her supporting me or pushing me, and I say pushing me, because, like, she has definitely believed in me in moments that I didn't believe it in me. Like, for example, the small business revolution, people don't know this. I was not going to apply. I think I told you that.
Yeah, you told me that.
Like, I was not going to apply. It was literally the last day for applications to be submitted. like the final hour. And she was just so angry. She was mad. She was like, well, have you entered? I was like, no, I'm not going to. And then she was like, well, why? Like, that's so stupid. Like,
what is wrong with you?
And my wife, like, is super sweet. And so, like, for her to be like, that's just stupid. I don't know why. And, like, she was just mad at me.
Passionate.
Dude, she was just very, very mad at me. She was like, I was like, well, that's, like, I'm not, like, this for, like, real businesses. She's like, you're a business.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, fine. So, basically, I did it just so she wouldn't be mad at me.
Good move.
And then
prove her,
whatever. And then when I made the top 30, I was like, do I tell her? You know what I mean?
We'll never live this down.
That's far beyond. Like, now that I've won, it's like I like it can never be one of those like, do you remember that time?
You remember that time?
You remember that time?
When I suggested that you alter your entire destiny and you nearly ignored me.
Yeah. So that and that almost happened.
We don't keep score, marriage, right?
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We don't.
Yeah. But we don't anymore. Because we can never catch up.
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's just one of the things. Like for husband, like, and wife, like, really, it's just no matter whatever you're gonna do, if you just have your spouse supporting you, that's like 100%. Like,
there you go.
What you could need.
Yep.
So
the next steps now
the next steps now is getting the equipment needed.
Waiting to get in the building.
Yeah, getting in the building, hiring, and then just...
You're going to hire somebody before you move in?
Well, I'm not hiring them before I move in, so like another 2 weeks or so, but I've been in talks with somebody.
Yeah?
Yeah. This guy is actually, he was in Houston for the past year with Hurricane Harvey.
Okay.
Relief victims. Like, he was a general contractor. He's somewhat retired. He's like 62.
Really? Dude, he probably knows
woodworker. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, he's done woodworking. He was a general contractor at one time. But one of the biggest things that, like, really, like, it was just one of those things. It was like an ordained thing. Like, he emailed me after seeing my tables at Saber and Sip.
That's amazing.
There's the tables again.
The tables, man.
Dude. Yeah, I'm telling you. And
okay, so the takeaway is brand your tables.
Brand it's made of wood. Burn it.
Burn
it in there.
So
Goodness.
He emailed me and said, hey, and he kind of knew a little bit of what was going on. He just got back, so he kind of knew a little bit what was going on in the Cersei area, and so he was like, he just wanted to help me out. He just, like, he saw, like, like, there's potential for, he's somewhat retired. He just wanted to kind of, like, you know, and I'll take every bit of criticism and training, and
You can't get better unless you know what you're doing wrong.
Exactly. You know, you can't get better unless you try to get better.
Yeah.
And so, and he reached out to me, and in his email, I didn't even look at his stuff. It was just reading his email and like his story of like he just got back. He's at Hurricane Harvey, like helping. I called him. I didn't even email him back. I just called him. Like, he had his number in there, and I talked to him. Super cool guy. Met him, had coffee. We talked some more. Just really hit it off. And I was like, man, like, so I asked him, like, so what do you see from here? Like, you want to work for me? Like, work with me? Like, you know, like, and then what is it you have to make a year? Like, you know, you just throw it out there. Like, before I even waste any more of your time.
Right.
Like, what is it that you want a year? I'm going to try everything I can to make it happen at this point. The numbers are right, and it's just like, all right, like, you know, and then you go back, and it's just like, all right, God, I see you. Like, this is all happening. It's like rolling out the gate. The building that I'm moving into just went up for rent, and is leasable within the last month.
It is cheap.
Yes,
for where it is.
Where it is, yes.
It is.
Is.
Cannot believe it. Like, I should have rented that as a house and just converted it to live in there, because I'm impressed.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And it's one of those things, like, I almost didn't even call because of where it was at.
Right.
The
size.
I
would have guessed.
I thought I'd already been pricing other places, you know, because before we won, I was already kind of pricing commercial space in here, and, you know, it was not good. It was like nowhere in my price range. And then this place like popped up within the last month. Called them. I was like, could not believe what they were asking. I was like, well, I mean, is it like condemned? You know, so like I go in and look, and like it's great. It's already wired.
Rats in there or what?
It's already wired in for all the heavy machinery that I need. Like it's got 3-phase and 220. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I was like, all right,
God's hand just throwing it down for you.
Again, it's just been like that every step of the way. It's just like, you know, you're a loser in your garage, but I got you. You know, and it's like the building, you know, just this guy. It's just a lot of stuff.
The whole thing is just lining out. Pretty awesome. Now, you just need customers.
Yeah, well, I got those too.
You got them.
I just got to get the right customers.
You got an inbox full of customers now?
Yeah, I do. But again,
or potential
customers.
At least,
yeah.
But you're in a weird flux phase. You're like, I can't really start on your stuff until like a month from now.
Yeah.
It's like,
moving.
Pardon the progress of the
just
television
go for it and be
show.
in the middle of whatever.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, because I can't just stop and wait. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my livelihood.
Well, you got to make money.
Yeah, this is my livelihood now.
Right.
So it's like I still got to go.
And they're not paying you on the TV show to be part of the TV show.
No.
I always assumed you had to get paid to be on a TV show.
No.
But that is not the case.
If that is, I'm losing.
You got the bad end of the stick.
I got the bad end of the deal.
Or
maybe not. I think I got it pretty good.
Yeah, I think you got it pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really excited.
I'm really stoked
for you to see what happens.
We'll see what happens in the next few months. And
we will. So what the plan is, at least, is Coty is going to be here 50% of the time, maybe, or maybe 100% if he wants to be. We're going to try to switch up people that we interview. It could be a jewelry maker. It could be a mom in her garage. It could be just anybody who's making something, making craft, and what they're doing, how they're doing it, and just talk with them. Just have a conversation. So the plan is to have that kind of rotating co-host. Yeah. And if we can't find one, Coty will jump in.
Coty.
Yeah, all right.
And if he wants to be here, even when we have another person, then come and be here.
Yeah, because we've talked about your lineup, and I just want to meet some of these people.
Yeah,
for real.
Dude, come. I don't really know. Haven't told anybody else about the lineup.
You've told me.
Yeah, but I haven't told the people who I want to be.
Oh well.
So the people who are coming don't know.
No, they don't know.
They have no idea.
They're in for a surprise.
So it will be a surprise who comes on. But yeah. So anything else you want to chat about? Want to talk about? We didn't really talk to Brian or me much.
Well, I think that should be next episode, Brian.
Yeah, let's talk more about Brian's life.
Yeah.
Sound
in
good?
his
Dive into what
sexy
is
radio
going on.
voice. That
Yes, the
Right,
deep voice
yeah.
that
No.
comes through strong.
Face and voice for radio.
You have them both, man. Cody's the TV star. You're the radio
Yes,
star.
he is.
Awesome.
And you rule the internet.
That's right.
Build
That's
Guild will
the
soon
try.
upend Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, for me, Ben at Myers Woodshop,
Coty, Organic Woodwork.
Brian, Fiery Squirrel Art.
we are the Build Guild. Thanks for listening to our podcast, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.